Hey guys, what's going on? The new heroes, the two new Season X heroes have just been released. We got their full skills. I'm going to dive into these heroes. I just recorded this video, like 25-minute video. Realized I wasn't actually recording anything, so I was just talking to myself. But hey, who cares? Let's get into these heroes. So this won't be a first look. I've already, again, looked at these, talked about them. But I'll have my thoughts more collected at least this time. So the first hero that we have here is Lust, or Angelina. She's, again, Season X hero, the two newest. She's a ranged archer, ranged basically indicating that she's going to go in the back row, or that she fits really well in the back row, and archer meaning she has shooter troop types. So as always, pretty much the same first ability, same third ability, same fourth ability as basically every season hero. Her sixth ability, plus 15% damage. Again, indicating that she's a range hero. She's a damage dealer. She'll probably go in the back row, and she just deals a lot of damage. Damage plus 15 is really, really nice for heroes that deal damage. Surprise. Her seventh ability is plus 40% might, and this just further shows that she's going to deal a lot of damage, or that's the intention behind this hero at least. And again, this seventh ability actually applies to all squads in the hero's formation. So if you have 3 shooters in your formation, this seventh ability actually does plus 120% might. Not just plus 40, but plus 120. If you're in a mixed APC and you only have one shooter, this hero, it's only plus 40 to herself. So now let's get into the skills that matter. Her second ability, Poison Extraction Blade, it's a combat skill, has an effective range of 5, meaning even if she's in the back row, she can hit everybody except for Nomad. She targets 2 random enemy squads within that effective range of 5. And here's what the skill does. So at max level, 35% chance to deal 300% damage on 2 random enemy teams and cause them to enter a poisonous state. And that poisonous state just deals 150% damage for 1 round. So you can look at it as 450% damage onto 2 enemy squads. So that's a total of 900 damage at 35% chance. That's actually a lot. 900 damage, this is a good skill so far. I will be showing Hummingbird, and I'll be comparing her directly to Hummingbird, who's basically a ranged shooter hero who deals a lot of skill damage. So I'll compare them directly, and I'll show you exactly how much 900 damage should look like. So let's move on to her fifth ability. Her fifth ability is Feathers of Seduction. 1 turn prep, meaning if you cast this ability on turn 1, it's not actually going to activate until turn 2. If you cast it on turn 2, it's not going to activate until turn 3. So that's what prep means. There is a 50% chance to deal 450% damage to 2 random enemy squads. It's going to make them enter a confusion state, which is a type of CC. And it basically means that their skills and basic attacks targets become confused. They can attack themselves, they can attack their teammates, or they'll attack the enemy. It's just like Pokemon Confusion, the same thing. And this confusion lasts for 1 round. So this ability right here is what I think she's going to be known for. 50% chance with a 1 turn prep. So basically meaning this skill will happen 3 or 4 times a game. 50% chance means it happens 4 times, but with a prep, unless you get it perfect, so unless it casts on round 1, round 3, 5, and 7, then it'll only be 3 or even less. So 450% damage to 2 random enemy squads. Again, that means 900 damage. You can just take the number divided by the number of targets. 900 damage, but confuses 2 enemy squads for 1 round. That is huge. Confusion is very, very, very good. It can be completely game-changing, honestly. And to make 2 random enemy squads confused for a round at 50%, so again, let's say 3 or 4 times, that's a ton of confusion. I'm already seeing some synergy with organic. I will get to the APC compositions of these heroes in a bit, so stay tuned. This will be a bit of a longer video, but hey, it's the new heroes. I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. So right now it's looking like this fifth ability is really, really, really strong. We've already checked her 6th and 7th, so let's move on to her 8th ability. Her 8th ability is called Featherstorm. It's a prep skill. Prep skill meaning it happens before the battle, so on round 0. Effective range of 5 again, so whatever. All squads are immune to 2 confuse effects. So that basically just means, let's say you have Tech Priestess on the enemy team. If she confuses your front row hero, it's immune. The next time it's immune, and then if it happens 3 times to the same hero, then they'll get confused. That's actually very unlikely. I don't think that'll happen very often, that the same hero is going to get confused 3 times. So more or less, it looks like this skill is going to sort of prevent confusion. The only exception to that is Lust. So Lust is going to be confusing a lot. But a hero like Tech Priestess, for example, is probably only going to be confusing the same hero twice, max, maybe 3 times, but we'll see. Looks like this is a direct counter to Tech Priestess. They're trying to topple the queen. When it's your squad's turn to act, it'll deal 250% damage to enemies' teams, silence, disarm, suppress, or confuse states every round. So to be honest, this doesn't make any sense grammatically. I think I figured out what this means. So I believe it's saying when it's your squad's turn to act, you'll deal 250% damage to enemy teams that are silenced, disarmed, suppressed, or confused every round. So as long as it's your turn to act, this is a prep skill, so it doesn't matter if she CC'd. This is still going to activate. So if the enemy squad has, or if the enemy APC has squads that are silenced, disarmed, suppressed, or confused, so CC'd, she's just automatically going to deal 250% damage. That's huge. Synergizes great with herself and any other hero that does a lot of CC. 250% damage. Literally, let's just take Lust. Let's say Lust is the only CC hero in this formation. She's going to confuse 8 times, more or less 8 times. Let's just say 8 times max. So that's 8 times 250%. That's 2,000 extra damage from this ability right here over the course of that entire match. So overall, let's talk about her damage. So she has 900% at a 35% chance, meaning that's probably going to happen 3 times. So 2,700 damage. This ability as well, let's say it happens 4 times. So 4 times 450%, what is that, 1,800? So we already have 1,800 times 2,700. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. No, this is 900, so it's 4 times 900. So 3,600 plus 2,700, and then plus, I don't know, let's just say it's that 2,000. This is actually going to be a lot more, though. You're probably going to pair her up with some CC heroes, so those will actually end up being a ton of damage. In any case, she's going to be dealing like 9,000 plus damage, it looks like, and that obviously is going to depend on this ability right here. If you had the enemy team CC the entire game, it'd be 750% every turn. Very unlikely, but I'm just saying if. So overall, it looks like Lust is going to be crazy good. Crazy OP, my initial impression. She's really, really good. She's a damage dealer that has a ton of CC. That's pretty uncommon, actually. Hummingbird has literally no CC. Huntress has no CC. Nomad has no CC. Death Rider technically has CC, but really has no CC. Ivan no CC, etc. So the main damage dealers don't do CC, like, at all. Lust does. That's obviously going to put her, I think, above and beyond in maybe a tier of her own. Right now, I'm leaning on a 4 out of 4. If you're new to my channel and you don't know what I do with hero reviews, I basically take a system of 4, so 1 through 4, 1 being the worst, 4 being the best, and I rate them based on like the whole culmination of things. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to compare her to Hummingbird's damage ability. So if we took the damage from before, we said let's just say around 9,000 damage per game, not including all the buffs and benefits like that, just from the skills. Let's take a look at Hummingbirds. So 40% chance to attack twice. Each attack attacks 2 enemy squads and deals 142. So you can look at this as 142 times 2. So that's what, 248 times another 2. So basically just 500 at a 40% chance. That's again like 3. So that's 1,500 damage right here. Maybe a little bit more. I mean, if you ran it over and over, it'd be like 1,600 damage, but let's just say 1,500 damage. Then she has 30% chance to deal 310. So that's 930 with 30%. So again, that's probably going to happen 3 times. So what, 2,790. So we have 2,790 plus, what did we say the initial one was up here? 500 times 3, so 1,500. So far, she's dealing less, significantly less than Lust. But her 8th ability, 60% chance, 2-turn prep, 863 times 2. This ability is just insane. 1,700 damage when it activates, and this will probably go off 3 times a game, maybe if you're lucky. 3 times. Generally, it goes off twice. So that's what, I don't know, 34, 50, something like that. So basically 3,400 damage. Yeah, Lust does more damage. But again, that's not including anything. Overall, Hummingbird, let's just say she deals about 8,000 damage. To make the math simpler, Hummingbird deals about 8,000. Lust deals anywhere from like that 8,000 number to probably 10 or 11 or 12,000 even. The thing about Hummingbird is she actually has a different 4th ability. So she has plus 20% damage dealt, which probably actually just evens out their overall damage. To make things very, very simple, let's say they do about the same amount of damage. However, Lust CCs, Hummingbird does not, and Hummingbird is incredibly susceptible to CC because she has such long preps. If she gets CC'd and she doesn't use her skills, she's essentially useless. Lust, even if she gets CC'd, she has a prep ability, so she's got more consistent damage than Hummingbird. She has CC. And overall, she's probably going to be dealing the same amount of damage. Apologies for the sirens. You know how it is. Okay, let's move on to Retrograder. I know I've taken forever on Lust, but this will be a long video. So here we have Retrograder, and I will come back actually and talk about the APC compositions of both these heroes at the end, so stay tuned. So Retrograder, Blades, people are calling him Blaze or like water or whatever. Obviously, he's like a cool firefighter guy. Obviously not as handsome as our boy Huddy. His 6-pack almost on par with mine, but keep working out, buddy. You'll get there. Keep trying. So again, the same 1st ability, 3rd ability, 4th ability. What's interesting is that the graphic is actually exactly like an orange hero, and that leads me to the most important part about this hero. He is a support general attributes hero, meaning he can use all 3 troop types. He can use shooters, he can use fighters, he can use vehicles. That's awesome. Let's get into his skills. We'll talk a little bit more about how that troop type variance is really, really good. So his 2nd ability, Oath of the Rock. Different effects are triggered when the hero carries different types of units. So if he has fighter troops on his squad, he basically reduces damage by 35%. That's all this means. When he has vehicles, when 2 random enemy squads launch combat skills and combat attacks, the damage caused by those squads is -8, and this can stack up. So more or less, this is just kind of like damage reduction. Goes up to 64% on round 8, but in the beginning they're going to be dealing more damage. So this actually isn't very good because Huntress deals a ton of damage at the beginning and less damage later. Just because she's usually attacking the front row later. But in any case, it's still pretty good. 64, I don't know, what would the average be? So from 8 to 64, so about 30%, similar to if he's a fighter. And if he has shooters in the first 3 rounds, when your squad receives damage, there's a 65% evasion chance. Again, that's only for the first 3 rounds. That'll probably occur twice. Not amazing. Evasion's not really that great. And Vanguard's is like a little bit better than this. So we know from Shadow that evasion isn't amazing. People like the Wanderer, and then again, dodge heroes like Vanguard, they're not like OP by any means. Damage reduction also isn't that amazing. A lot of the heroes with damage reduction aren't currently super good. Kamikaze is really, I think, the only example that counteracts my point. But for the most part, damage reduction isn't amazing, and neither is evasion. So far, his 2nd ability, nothing impressive. His 5th ability is combat skill, Water Gun. Effective range of 2. 50% chance to recover the squad with the lowest value of our troops. This is a recovery rate of 270%. That's huge. So this should actually say 2 friendly squads. Yeah. Basically, it just means this goes into friendly squads. And no matter where you place them, first, middle, or last row, this skill will work. So 270% recovery is a ton, and I'm going to compare him to Canoness, just like I did for Hummingbird. Also, he clears the debuff state of 2 random squads on our side. He can't remove pre-battle skills, so that's like prep skills. That part's not terribly impressive. Debuffs aren't insanely common, and oftentimes the debuffs are prep skill debuffs. So the fact that he can't remove those prep skill debuffs hurts this ability pretty significantly. And then the debuffs that aren't prep skill are just not that important. They're not like game-changing debuffs. So not amazing, but this recovery is insane. 270% at 50% chance is a lot. And the fact that it targets the squad with the lowest number of troops is really, really, really important. So oftentimes what happens is you end up over-healing. So healing heroes end up over-healing. Let's say Canoness is in the back row, Tech Priest is in the front, and Wrath is in the middle, right? This is the casino APC, or a very, 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 very common APC that tons and tons of people are running currently. Let's say Tech Priestess has full troops, Wrath has 100,000 troops, so he got hit like 10,000, right? And then Canoness has full troops. Canoness is just going to heal Tech Priestess and herself and +0, so she's not actually going to heal anything, and Wrath is still going to have that minus 10,000. That'll never happen with this hero. He's going to heal Wrath for that 10,000 always, so it's very, very good, actually. This might be better than Canoness's heals, and currently Canoness heals the most in the game. Okay, I talked about that a shit ton. Let's go to his 6th ability, plus 15% HP. He's a tank. It's pretty clear from his 2nd ability that he's a tank. Most likely we're going to see him in the front row, or we can see him in the back row like we're seeing Canoness to really, really, really just counter people who target the back row, such as Huntress and some other heroes like Death Rider. His 7th ability is really cool because all squads, so it doesn't matter if he's in a mixed APC, all squads are going to get the benefits from this. So plus 120% resistance always across the whole formation. That's awesome. I like seeing that. And it actually makes his 7th ability worth it to get. Normally, a lot of heroes, especially Season X heroes, you can just get 1 through 6 and 8. And you're totally fine. It doesn't really make any difference. This guy, it might make a little bit of a difference. So it's actually kind of worth it to max out this hero, whereas others, it's oftentimes not as valuable. Let's move on to his 8th ability, Fire Ambition. So he's a badass. He's going straight into the fire. Cool. This is a prep skill, meaning it happens before the battle on round 0. All friendly squads unit countering minus 10%. So I believe basically this just means shooters counter vehicles, vehicles counter fighters, and fighters counter shooters. So let's say you have Death Rider in the back row. He has vehicles, and they have Nomad on the enemy squad. Nomad, if those shooters attack, so if Nomad shooters attack Death Rider, there's already a countering where he's going to be dealing basically 35% more damage, just based on the fact of the vehicle troop type. So this basically makes it only 25% countering. I believe 35% is the number. I'm not sure. Whatever the number is, this is just going to decrease it by 10%. That's not huge at all. This seems to be very insignificant. And from my experience, the 10% is not a flat 10%. It's probably some weird multiplication instead of an actual just flat number. So this is probably really, really not important. If it's a multiplication, you're really decreasing it by like 3.5%, which is nothing. So starting from the 4th round, the damage caused by our other 2 squads gets increased by 30%. So that means 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for 5 rounds, plus 60% damage. That's nice, but it's nothing amazing. A lot of heroes, so like Valkyrie, for example, is going to be giving plus damage in the beginning. Tech Priestess gives plus damage in the beginning. So it's kind of weird that it's not like stacking with that. So kind of interesting. His 8th ability, not impressive to me, really at all. We'll see. Plus damage is the best offensive stat in the game. Just based on the damage calculations, the way that the game calculates number of kills at the end of the attack, damage is the most important. Conversely, HP is the most important defensive stat in the game, more than tactical resistance, more than resistance. So that's good, at least that it's plus 30%, but that's not enormous. I can see this being valuable in somebody like Huntress, for example, though, who just wants to deal as much damage as humanly possible. Even Lust, this might be good on Lust as well. Could be good for somebody like Death Rider as well. So there is potential, like I said, for him to be paired up with Huntress. He will be healing her a lot, which is very nice. He will be super tanky, so he's probably not going to die. And then he's going to give her that plus 30% at the end of the after, so turns 4 and beyond, which might be enough to actually push Anna out of the meta. I'm not sure. We'd probably have to take a look at how the plus damage is actually, the plus auto attacks converts to this plus 30% damage. So far, Retrograder not as impressive as Lust to me. Lust I gave a 4, basically. I'm assuming she is going to be a solid 4, not like top 3 hero in the game, but definitely a solid 4, and she honestly could be. It really, really depends. Kind of on that last ability. Again, I'm just giving my interpretation of the ability, but with the grammar that's given, it could be totally different. Retrograder, I'm honestly probably going to say like a 2.5. So I don't give point anything. It's just flat integers. So I'm going to probably say a 2. 2, you can still use the hero, and he might be better just because of this recovery. Actually, let's bump that up to a 3 for now. We'll be conservative and we'll say it's a 3. I think this recovery actually just might be enough, just flat out enough. So we're going to compare her to Canoness. Retrograder has 270% recovery to the lowest troop at a 50% rate, so it'll happen 4 times basically. That's not if he's paired with Predator. If he is paired with Predator, it'll happen more. So again, I am liking Retrograder, Predator, Huntress. We might see how that works. So Canoness's heals, 50% chance, so same. 240% recovery rate, but that's for two squads. Herself and then the front row. So I think the fact that he's targeting the lowest value or the lowest troop count squad is actually better or on par with Canoness, because like I said before, Canoness ends up overhealing and actually just doing +0 heals. So it's interesting. He might be good enough basically just off that heal. That's a ton. 270 is a lot. Also, I do think Canoness is going to pair pretty well with Lust because of this suppression right here on her 5th ability. So let's talk about the APCs. Where do I see these heroes falling in line? I definitely see synergy with Organic and Lust. So somebody, Organic, Lust. Who would that somebody be? It could be somebody like I said, honestly, Canoness. With that extra suppression, Lust is going to be dealing more damage, obviously. And then Canoness will basically just stay alive forever. But I don't really like Canoness in the front row as much. I do kind of like her in the back. You could do Organic, Lust, Cannon. That would be completely fine. Lust is definitely going to get killed by Huntress fairly easily, so we'll probably be seeing her in the middle. And again, something like that would actually make sense. Organic, Lust, Canoness might be good enough. Lust might do enough damage by herself. We could also see she is susceptible to damage, so I do like healers with her. But she's also susceptible to CC, just like Hummingbird. So Glutton might fit well with her as well. Glutton bestows Clear-Minded on the back row, so they can't get CC'd. So that would protect Lust. Lust would obviously heal him if she's in the back row. But again, with Huntress, you kind of have to start putting your carry in the middle. So it is kind of interesting. Yeah. You also might want to pair her up with somebody like HR. It's potential. Because he also has good CC. And then he can heal. So that works perfectly with Lust as well. But we'll see. I kind of like the idea of Organic, Lust, Cannon. Or she's just going to basically replace Hummingbird. And you would do something like, Prophet, Lust, Cannon, or wherever you're going to place Hummingbird generally. So, Glutton, Cannon, or Glutton, TP, Lust, or something like that. Obviously, she's going to pair well with Tech Priestess. Obviously, she's going to pair well with Wrath. Obviously, she'll pair well with Kamikaze. Those heroes really, and Prophet, those heroes really just pair with everybody. You'll see Retrograder is going to pair well with her as well. So you could do something like, Retrograde, Organic, Lust, I think would work well also. And then you would probably just do, I don't know, fighters on Retrograder. So that's some combos with Lust. I think she's going to be pretty versatile in terms of who she can play with. She wants to play with people who have CC, and she should also be paired with people who have heals, probably because she will be susceptible to both death and CC. Retrograder, I mean, it's pretty cut and clear. He's supposed to go anywhere, and he's supposed to do anything. None of his skills have like really enter synergy at all. He just heals, he gives damage reduction, and he gives plus damage. So I mean, that's anybody basically. What's cool again is that you can do something like vehicle with Retrograder. You can do fighter with Retrograder, and shooter with Retrograder. So you're not actually you're gaining that benefit from the 3 vehicles or 3 shooters or 3 fighters or something like that. So maybe Retrograder and Death Rider will pair well. This extra damage is nice. The healing is also nice. But clearing the debuffs is kind of not important because Death Rider is actually immune to debuffs. So we'll see where these heroes fall in line. I definitely think, again, Lust is a 4 and probably Retrograder is a low 3. But I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. When these heroes are released, I will do my best to max them right away, and I'll test them on the spot so you guys will know whether or not you should spend your tickets on them. If you just want to spend right away and you don't care what I say, I would probably err on the side of Lust. So that's about it for this, guys. You'll be theory crafting a lot more in the live streams. If you're not familiar with my channel, I stream every single Friday during Kill Event, basically at reset or a little bit after. So subscribe, you'll get notified whenever I do stream. We talk about a lot of this stuff. We'll definitely be talking about it this week for sure. I already know. We'll be theory crafting a lot of APCs. I'm sure I'll have a lot more ideas after sleeping on it and thinking about it for a while. So make sure to join that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about these heroes. I'll see you guys soon. Let me know your thoughts on these heroes, especially Retrograder, because I'm not really sure where he's going to fall. But give me your guys' APCs. Give me your guys' ratings, the same as I do, 1 through 4. We'll see who's right. Whoever's perfectly right gets, I don't know, a pat on the back. All right, guys, that's about it. Take care, have fun, stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Help your fellow man, help your fellow woman, your brother, your sister, your mother. Tell your family I love you. Tell your friends too. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.
Wake up, early mornings, late nights, hopping on a different flight. What's the meaning of life, ayy? Wake up, same-ish, different day. Make a wish, call it pray. Am I sick, am I okay, ayy? Stay up.